her focused. There we go. So it says, Me'idoch, so I guess from, I don't know if the other side, Reba Ha'araz D'Avira Meshula D'Fil Gra. What does the Gra say? Shahu V'Rabediva Rabebira Gra. Over there. Shemavura B'Zechel D'Shona V'Amber B'Tleis and Devihim Mavuin. So back to that phrase again. And it seems like that where we're at right now is really trying to understand the meaning of the first three words, or the first two words, these two words. Kefel, Balash, and Nevi'im, Mavuyim, so we have a double language there. And he says, Ritzon Lomar means to say, Shehem Nevi'im Mimucha Stimo. They're flowing from the Mocha Stimo, the Erik Anpin, Behem Mavuyim, the Dikna, and they flow further from that. And that causes them, I guess, maybe it's a verb. The Dikna, the Erik Anpin. The Zer Anpin, rather. I'm sorry. Wow. Ad Kan, therefore. V'nimsa the Fize, Ki Nevi'im Hema Makoros. Nevi'im is the idea of the font itself, of the spring itself, of where it comes from. Mavuim Hema Oros, those are the Oros. I guess the idea is supposed to be that flow out from there. B'zecha l'chayra the Hefach Medivri Ha'or Yakar, that's actually the opposite, or the Or Yakar said V'rei B'ha'aros. Now he has some arichos in the ha'aros here, and let's go over to it, take a look, see what it says. So it says, I guess we have to start on number bet. Number bet went on the phrase Imavuim Hema Oros, so he says that, and then we come down here. So he said V'chein Nivra Beferish Sulam also. But Tleisa Nevi'im, so he's with the 13 Nevi'im Mavuim, Bishlosha Aser Enos Mavuim. So this is the wellspring itself. That's they come flowing out of there. It's not quite clear exactly what he means, but we'll go on. Then it goes to the next phrase after number bet. Let's go back to number bet here. After number bet, it's the Hefech or Yakar, he said Rei B'Ha'aros, and now we're going to come to the Aros, and we're going to really try to understand what's going on with the meaning of these two words. He's going for different places. So it states this in many different places in the Idr Rabbah. He said or Yakar. There's the well springs, Shel Orus Hasa'aros, from the lights that are in the hairs. So he said the hairs of the beard that's flowing through the inside of the beards. Now they said, once again, he says the lights that's flowing through the beards are called the Mavuyim. So he raised Rei Be'idra Rabbah, look over there. For Yasbecha B'Talitalim, Mishum the Mashikim Mavuyim Sigim the las Rahate Mocha. So let's try to translate it, because I was concerned about the word Rahate. I think it means chambers here of the Mocha that are in which the Mocha come. Let's see, Yasfin Tali Talin. So Tali Talin is Lashon, so this flow. Mishum the Mashikin and Mavuyim, because they're flowing. Mebavuim Sigiyim, from multiples, I get an abundant flow. The Talas Rahate Mocha from the three Mochi. Mebavura the Halal Rabachad the Gogolta, so from one of the flow that comes from one of the chambers of the Gogolta, it's Mashkin Sare Sare Babishikusa. So when that's so through the hairs, this flow going through the hairs. At Khan. Bechain Brebe Idra Rabbas. We're trying to see how these words are used in other places. V'zel L'shonel. Begin to his Chavru, and since they're joined together, the Arba B'mochim B'chai Zer Anpin, they're joined together now, and they're coming into Zer Anpin. It's Mashkan Arba B'bohim Minei La'arba. So it says again, is Mashkan, which I guess flows and streamed into him, the Arba Mebohim, the Arba Minei La'arba to 4, and it's going for other places, possibly in Zer Anpin. Is that what he means? Adkain, so therefore Adkan. So that's a little quote, trying to figure out what he means. So v'chein Reb, let's see what happened. We're still here. I think he hung up. We lost him. Okay, let's call him back. Okay, so we're up at the top, and we got to the phrase ad kan. So he said, "Became Rebbe B'Kol Barama." He looks over there, Idra Rabba, V'Zechad Deshana V'Dilog. Hamochim Nikra Mevuyin. So the Mochim themselves are called by this word Mevuyin. Now, it sounds like to me that Mevuyin may be like a verb, so that it's causing them to flow. Kanisker be'inyan at tefillin, like we say over the tefillin. V'daf kuf lamed vav amad aleph it says, "Betlas chalala de gogalta de zer anpin." V'heim nevoyim mitoch asa'ara shehem cholulim, and they flow into the midst of the hairs, which are empty, which are hollow. V'achakach nafkim min asa'aras v'luchutz, and then after that, from the hairs themselves, they go out. Ad kan. V'chein ku b'yayin the rekach, he says the same idea, ki ha'idra al ha'idra rabba, as he's talking here about the idra rabba. He says, v'zechel d'shono, ki ha'mochim nekrayim mevuyim, k'mevur l'kaman, mechalolo chad mizbaka chad meboy. So he said, mechalolo chad. The chalala sounds like, I'm not sure exactly what he means, if he's talking here about the skull of the Gugalta, the Eric Anpen, or whatever, or he's talking about the beard. So he said, let's get the word again. The mochin are called the mavuyim. K'mavura the kaman, mechalala chad mizbaka chad mavua. So that's a concept of one, again, sounds like a river or something bigger. So let's see. So now he says that the first way that sound like you should understand it is it's talking about the hollow space in the hair follicles themselves. So he said he haim hamakoros shel oros hasa'aros, because this is really the root of the lights that are flowing through the hairs. We have that over there. This is all the we need nokvin, the avdin nokvin mevuyin that they make. We're still working with my glasses to try to get into focus. I'm really sorry. The avdin nokvin mevuyin metachas asara. So they make what? Avdin nokvin, that's holes or openings, mavuyim, moving, I guess moving or flowing. Mitachas sa'ara, mitchos sa'ara, underneath the hairs, or within the midst, maybe means of the hairs. But nagde mavuyim, and then again, the use of the word mavuyim again, and then these moves start coming out. Ad kan. He says all the Perik Aleph. He says like this. Kamosha Amber Beidra Rabba Badav Kuf Mem Amad Aleph, the Avdin Nukvin Mavuyin, that they make openings or holes or Mavuyim, or maybe he means, I don't know if he means at the beginning of them, at the end of them, I'm not sure exactly, but they use the word hollow before. Is that what this means? The Avdin Nukvin Mavuyin Mehachavos I really have a hard time seeing that. So mitachos v'nagdech to kifim, and then it makes other stronger mavuim. I'm not sure what that meant. V'heim nekavim. Then what are they? They kavim v'gumos v'makom maseir. They're actually openings. I think the kavim means holes, but even v'gumos. So the same idea. V'makom maseir. So they make an opening in the hairs. What it sounds like. V'yidura b'shechov shamuras limor nikra yam rabba the chachmas. So that's what it's called. So that's the mucham v'niva. Mavuyim did not b'muras limor. So that flows, those rivers, or let's say those streams that are flowing out of the nafi b'muras limor, they're through the hairs nikra b'mayim. They're called water. Now this, how I was working here with this mavuyim, etc. Ad kan. B'zecha b'tikuni zohar. So we had this over in the Tikuni Zohar. Another quote from this idea. B'zecha l'shana v'kol nima is le mavua de'ihu yud. Now there you go again. Every hair has this mavua in it, which is the letter, I don't know, is meant to yud. I'm not sure, ad kan. V'ula yesh loma. So try to understand this a little bit better. So he says, where am I? V'ula yesh loma. The lahagra ein chiluk vein lashon neviim the lashon mavuyin. So they really mean the same thing. V'tevaychum is parshin v'heim al hamakoros v'hein al ha'oros. Whether we're talking about the wellspring or we're talking about the lights that are being sprung out. V'getzas raya lezeh. There's a little bit of proof for this. Ki be'idra rabba, in the idra rabba over there, it says nekrayim yud gimel dekuni dikdach l'chlas aser mavuyin. So he says that the tekuni diknam are called by the name of the 13 tlas aser mavuyin streams. There are 13 streams there. But over there it says nekrayim yud gimel dekuni dikna tlas aser nevin. So there it says nevin. So since it says the same thing, same idea, same shot, two different places, we're saying mashma that they actually mean the same thing. So that, you have to kind of push that around to try and make that work. So therefore, when they come to the Sifra that's Niyosa, the Gra explains, one refers to the wellspring itself, and one referring to the lights that are actually flowing. But there's really no difference in the ultimate meaning of the two different uses of these words. So let's go to the next one. So again, now the question for me is, what is the significance of going through the reason why they have a double lashon? So they're neither one of those. Because the hairs themselves are not, they're not the wellspring, and they're not the lights that are coming out of the wellspring. Elachem tzinoras, but rather they're like straws, they're channels. So this we understand. So we have two concepts here. One is a makor, and one is actually the or. And they're called by the name tikunim. Why are they called tikunim? And he gives a definition once again for the word tikun. Because they limit down the lines. This is brought over there. The nagid bay plus asin the vim that flow out from it, 13 different flows. Mavuyim the mashach the mashach of Rabba's tava. So it says it's mavuyim, the mashach of the flow of Rabba's tova, all kinds of good things. Betlas aser tikunim mistakna. So I guess that's a translation of betlas aser tikunim, with these 13 tikunim mistakna. That's how, in fact, it flows, or that is how the light is mismayit ad kan. V'yesh kan gimel l'shona. So we have now 3 different languages. Let me move around a little bit here. He says, and the languages are Nevi'im, Mavuim, and Tikunim. Because there's 3 different things. There's 3 different things you have to know. Oros, Makoros, Vitzinuros. Those ideas, Ein Sham. The Rekach, Machnes the Pamem as Asaras B'Shem Nevi'im. So sometimes the lights come in under the name of Nevi'im. Al Shem HaOras HaNevoim B'Silchim. And this is what it wants to say, because there you're talking about the lights that are inside of the hair follicle. So Rech B'Yayin the Rechav, you said in the Yidvizut of his elder Shonos, and I was going to quote him, Shagam HaSa'aras L'Pamim Nekrayim Nevi'im, because sometimes they're called by this name Nevi'im. So now we want to say the Nevi'im refers to the lights themselves. That what he wants to say. Where are we at? So I lost my place a little bit. The Kroim Nevi'im. Al Shehem Novim or Muchastimo, because they actually streamed. That's the stream of the light that's coming from the Muchastimo. Adkan. Ein Sham Ba'orech, goes into it in greater detail. So he said, B'shar my mind, Rashbi is it. Over Ma B'sharim, he says over there, Ein Sham. Gamo Kain Machnis the Pamim Esas Aras B'Shem Mavuyim. So we say that the lights are coming in under the name of Mavuyim. Sha'al Yadim Nimshachim Hamochim Mahamakoros. Ray behind the Rekach, he has more on that, and that was that. So let's see, there's a little bit more. So we're going on now. We did that, and now we're going to number Gimel. So now, it took me a little while to figure out what he was trying to say here. It's a Beferish Marisa Rook. He says, so back to this again. Now here's these 13, right, flows or lights, or what we said. He says, with 13, I'm not sure what this means. So, 13, tikunim, of these tikunim, shavim, they're all equal. Call it tlas ration eloin. It makes them all equal these upper three heads. The inyan should be called echad bechem yesh the olam cheshban zad of tleisa, because each one of them, and once again this is eluding me a little bit, as this count of 13 with it, teisha shalom. The hana yud gimel litzorach gufa, so that in each one of them somehow carries this concept of 13. I think that's what he's saying, but I'm not sure. And they're carrying them into the body. But now he's counting like this. When we talk about the Reisha de Lo Isya, Heim Nevim, in this place they're called by the name Nevim, which we wanted to say earlier, maybe that means the Makor, that's the wellspring. Kolomar, Shenovea, so he wants to say like this, Shenovea Mechem Kol HaShefa Haba L'Sata, all the Shefa that's going downwards. Of a Reisha of the ayin, then he says in another, this is a concept that we hadn't seen or anybody ever explained this in this way. I didn't know these words in this way. First is the Reisha de Lo Isya, which is like a makor or a wellspring, and then it goes to a place of the Reisha of nothing. Heim Bevuyim, which actually refers to the Buyim, Shehem Yoser Ma'at Gazim V'nira Ketzas. So there are a little bit, they're more, a little bit thicker or bigger, V'niraim Ketzas, and therefore as a result of that you can sort of picture them. They're picturable or see them. Of a Reisha de Erik Anpin, Hey Misparshim, and then on the head of Erik Anpin, so they spread out from the head of Erik Anpin, and there's a word Misparshim. Gloma Shemisparshim Latachtonos, they go down into the lower words, Kafi Madregos Kafi Madregos Shalem, according to their different levels. Ad Kan V'chein Hu B'Zohar Rakia, so also you have this in the Zohar HaRakia, Kafirish Beferish Rishon, Be'emek HaMelech, over there, Be'kein Ku B'Kitzer, B'Shever Yosef, also over there, that same idea. So he says that you have now 3 words. One of the words also is Misparshin. There is, let's see what time we have here. Maybe we could do number Dalet down below. Number Dalet down below. So he says in this one on the phrase, let me find it again, he says, one on the phrase, Kolomar, Shemisparshim the Tachtonas Kafi Madregos Shalachem. So if you want to comment on that, let's see what he says. Behir the Davar Misarichem Beer. V'yesh Davar Kabonasach the Nevi'im Pirush Shefa. So Nevi'im really refers to the substance anover umavuyim pirush makoros shefa. That's where the wellspring is, or yakar over there. V'hinach of the lashon Nevi'im, that line b'gemara, shelo lo yadi'inen heichon makor hashefa. So we really don't know where it is, the real fount of the shefa, where the real wellspring is. Elo rolam shefa hanovea bilvad, but really we only can see the result. We could see the shefa that's pouring. This is talking about the very highest level, or the high level of shefa. Shal tikuni dikta, of the tikuni v'dikta, the ratio, the lo isyada that's coming from that ratio that we don't know really what's going on over there. That its root, its fat, its I'm using the word wellspring, that its wellspring below is hidden and is not known. So that's one word. But when you use that word, then we do understand where the shefa is coming from. Really, we do. So shefa where they are. Because they're all already at this point picked up a little bit of physicality. Ma'at gasim of niroim katzas, and you can sort of make them out. The second ben abba b'shefa tikundich b'dikta shall resha the ayin, and there is talking about this other head, which is called the resha the ayin. Amnam shefa v'orus elu, because now we were talking about the shefa that's pouring here, and these lights, heim adayim b'dakos, they're very, very, what's the right word? They means thin, but let's say they're transparent. They're almost not visible. So he says that you can't see all the differentiations that you would find in the lower different madregos. But now the shefa that's going through the beard of the resha of the head of Eric Anpin, Miss Ava Yoser, is even more thick, and over there we can really talk about it. V'lechein Miss Parshan the Tachtonim Kafi Madregos Shalahem V'ayin Sham. So V'ayin, let's see, he's got V'ayin, that's it. It just ends with the word V'ayin. Okay, let's stop here and let's go and see if we can pick up a little bit of the Tiv.